Hey guys, I'm John Setzler. Welcome back to the Kamado Joe cooking channel. Today we're going to fire up our Kamado Joe Classic and we're going to do a two-stage cook. We are going to make a cast iron pan of baked spaghetti and meatballs. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is put our meatballs together, and in my mixing bowl here I have got 1 pound of ground chuck, and to that I'm going to add 1 cup of Italian style breadcrumbs, 1/2 of a cup of a finely minced onion, which is about 1 medium-sized onion, 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper, 2 cloves of freshly minced garlic, about 1/4 of a cup of freshly chopped parsley, about 1/4 of a cup of freshly grated parmesan cheese, and 1 lightly beaten egg. And then I'm just going to work all that together with my hands. And after I get that completely combined, I'm just going to form these up into meatballs about the size that I would like and set them on my cutting board here. You can make these meatballs any size you like. And this recipe makes more than I'm going to need for this pan of baked spaghetti, so I'll have leftovers, and you can vacuum seal these and put these in the freezer, and they keep very well after they've been cooked. After I've rolled these out, I got about 11. These are nice fat meatballs, so this might work out. So I might use them all, I might not. We'll just have to see how they fit in our pan. So now we're going to take these to the grill. Alrighty, I've got my Classic fired up here to about 250 degrees with some smoke rolling, and I've got a heat deflector on this side, and I've got my stainless steel cooking surface, and we're going to hit it with a little bit of cooking spray, and then we're going to put these meatballs over here on the stainless steel, and we're going to smoke these guys until we get an internal temperature of around 160 degrees. And we'll just close this up and let these cook. I'm not exactly sure how long that's going to take, but I'll let you know when they're done when we come back. Okay guys, we've been going 35 minutes, almost 40 minutes, and these guys are ready. They're up to just a little over 160 degrees, so we're going to take these off and set them aside. I've got a Dutch oven here warmed up over medium heat, and I'm going to add in here about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and I've got 2 onions that I've chopped. And we're just going to saute these until they're softened. And after these onions are softened up, I've got 4 cloves of minced garlic that we're going to stir into that for another minute or so. Okay, then we're going to add 1 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes, 1 15-ounce can of tomato sauce, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of dried basil, 1 tablespoon of dried tarragon, 1 teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. And we're just going to stir that and bring this back to a simmer. When this sauce comes to a simmer, we're going to reduce the heat to low, and we're going to let it simmer uncovered here for 10 or 15 minutes. Okay, after that's been simmering there for 10 or 15 minutes, I'm just going to drop the lid on there, and we're going to reduce the heat just to warm until we're ready to move on to the next step. Okay, so now we're going to reconfigure here. I have got the divide and conquer flexible cooking rack in place with the accessory rack in the low position, and I'm going to put both heat deflectors on, and then I'm going to put both halves of the grill grate on top, and we're going to let the grill come up to around 350 to 375, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to leave the bottom vent fully open, and I'm going to set the top vent maybe about halfway, and we'll let it stabilize here. If I need to warm the grill up, I'll open this more. If I need to cool it down, I'll close it, but I think probably about halfway to maybe 3/4 will get us right where we need to be. Okay, I've got my 12-inch cast iron skillet out here, and I just greased it a little bit with some cooking spray, and I have cooked 1 16-ounce box of angel hair pasta according to the box instructions, and we're just going to spread that out evenly in this pan, and then we're going to ladle on our sauce. And then we're going to put our meatballs on. You get all of those on there. And then we're going to top it off with some shredded mozzarella. And I am going to add just a little bit of freshly grated parmesan on here on top of that. And then we're going to take this outside to the grill. Okay, we're cruising along close to 375 here, so I'm going to open the lid. We're going to set this pan on the grill, and then we're going to close the lid, and we're going to cook this probably for 15 to 20 minutes until it looks like it's about ready. So we'll be back shortly. Okay guys, we've been going here for about 20 minutes or so, and this is looking absolutely beautiful. I think I'm going to pull this off the grill. We're going to take it inside and let it cool for just a minute, and then we're going to have a taste. Okay guys, I've dished out a little bit of this in a bowl here where I can have a taste of it. The smell is absolutely amazing. I can still smell the smoke, especially from the meatball. So we're going to have a little taste of that guy. That is beautiful. That is not your mama's spaghetti and meatballs, let me tell you. The smoked meatballs changed the game here completely, and also cooking the whole dish on the grill brings some of that wood-fired flavor to this as well. So you've got to give this a try. And give us a try. Let us know what you think. Leave us a comment. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/KamadoJoe. Follow us on Twitter @KamadoJoe. And until next time, this is John Setzler with Kamado Joe Cooking Channel.